Russian forces are being swiftly pushed back by the Ukrainian army. Many cities in eastern Ukraine are no longer under the authority of Russian military. In such circumstances, Ukraine is in a good mood. According to President Volodymyr Zelensky, since early September, the military of Ukraine has retaken a 6,000 square kilometer territory. The Russian army had previously been in charge of the region. They even asserted that Crimea had been retaken. All of this, though, won't happen quickly. The Ukrainian army's morale has increased as a result of this win. In an effort to reorganize, Russian soldiers are moving back quickly at the same moment. In such a scenario, it is debatable if the Russian army is suffering defeat in Ukraine. Experts contend that Russia is not now as weak as is generally believed. The Russian army might step up the assault once more. The Ukrainian army is still launching counterattacks in the southern city of Kherson and the eastern city of Kharkiv. Balaklia, Izium, and Kupiansk have been evacuated by Russian soldiers stationed in Kharkiv. Izium and Kupiansk were both centers for Russian military logistics. It served to ensure Russian forces stationed in eastern Ukraine's access to weapons and ammunition. On Saturday, Ukrainian troops stormed Kupiansk, the main rail hub in eastern Ukraine, and within hours, they had taken Izium. It is sometimes referred to as the entrance to the Donbas. One of the main goals of Vladimir Putin's special military campaign was to seize Donbas, a stronghold of Russian-speaking population. Izium in Ukraine served as the Russian army's launching site. Russia made considerable use of Izium as a launching point for operations on the Donbas region after seizing it in April. The Russian army's operational and command headquarters was there as well. Kupiansk served as the primary rail hub for delivering supplies to the military formations stationed at Izium at the same time. The supply line to the Russian troops has been halted by the capture of this part of Ukraine. The Russian force stationed in eastern Ukraine may have a serious lack of weapons, ammunition, and food in such a scenario. Future battles may also be directly impacted by this. At the same time, using the weapons it obtained from America, the Ukrainian army keeps attacking Russian military installations. Planning for Ukraine's war room include the US and the UK. The advantage Ukraine has over the Russian army has shocked the entire globe. According to reports, Ukraine began war room preparations for retribution in the summer. The initial strategy to retake Kherson reportedly underwent several modifications, according to New York Times. First, it was decided to focus on the areas with less snow. According to the New York Times, the war room planning in Ukraine heavily incorporated US and British intelligence. Based on these, Ukraine chose to attack on two fronts rather than retaliate in one location. To guarantee Ukraine's success, the US deployed satellite-guided GMLRS rockets and the High Mobility Artillery Rocket System, HIMARS. America provided Ukraine with intelligence and guidance. The two maneuvers, said to Pentagon strategy head Colin Kahl in an interview with the New York Times, showed us that some paths of response were more effective than others. We gave Ukraine that guidance. The Ukrainian government then followed that advice and made a choice. Kahl claimed that in response to Ukraine's second counteroffensive, the Russians evacuated troops and equipment from the main front. The Russian army's various fronts were weakened as a result. The major accomplishment of Ukraine has been to compel Russia to take a defensive stance. This put a stop to Russian attempts to seize Kiev. However, Russia asserts that it has withdrawn its forces in order to reorganize and concentrate on Donetsk. When Russian forces failed to take Kiev early in the war, they made a similar assertion. Being pursued by Russian forces in Ukraine is regarded as a major setback for Vladimir Putin's image. According to a defense expert, this is the first time since World War II that the Russian army has seemed so frail.